All right, so you're thinking about becoming a professional caregiver, or maybe you already are and want to level up. Today, we're going to talk about what it really takes. We're breaking down the blueprint for high quality care, and we're starting with the most basic question there is. So, let's just get right into it. What makes a childcare space great? I mean, really think about that for a second. Is it just about having the coolest toys or bright colors on the walls? Well, sure, that stuff is nice. But what we're actually talking about is a much bigger plan. And this image right here, it pretty much says it all. A truly fantastic childcare experience doesn't just happen by accident. Nope, it's designed. It's built from a blueprint that gives equal weight to two things: the space where the kids learn and the professional who's there to guide them. So let's start with that first piece of the puzzle. Part one, it's all about crafting the learning space. This is the foundation. How do you build an environment that doesn't just, hold children, but actually helps them grow and thrive? First things first, you've got the absolute must-haves. Think of these as the bedrock. Good lighting and fresh air, a comfortable temperature, and of course, a space that is safe, clean, and accessible to every single child. These are the basics you have to nail before you can even think about anything else. Now, here's where things get really interesting. We're building on that foundation. The space itself should be working for the child. When you have child-sized furniture and shelves they can actually reach on their own, you're doing more than just making it convenient. You're sending a huge message. You got this. You can do this yourself. You're literally building independence into the room. And that same idea applies to the layout of the room. A well-organized room is a teaching tool. It lets kids move around the different learning areas instead of crashing right through them. It seems simple, but that little bit of planning cuts down on crowding, reduces conflict, and lets kids get into that deep, focused play. And finally, you have to make the space theirs. When you hang a kid's painting down at their eye level, or you put up pictures of their families, you transform that room. It goes from just a classroom to a real community. It builds their sense of identity, of belonging, and it's an amazing way to start some incredible conversations. Okay, so the space is set. What about the professional? That brings us to part two, the caregiver's essential toolkit. These are the skills, the certifications, the stuff every pro needs to have in their back pocket, ready to go at a moment's notice. Let's just run through them, okay? First up, for emergencies, CPR and first aid. This is absolutely non-negotiable. It's the training that lets you act with confidence when it counts the most.
Next, for mealtime, a food handler's permit is a must. This makes sure all the food is prepped and stored safely, protecting kids from getting sick.
For health in general, infection control training is so important. This covers everything you need to know about cleaning, sanitizing, and just keeping the whole environment healthy for everyone. For inclusion, you need ADA training. This is how you make sure your space and the way you do things are accessible and welcoming for children with disabilities. For career growth, if you're serious about this as a profession, you have the Child Development Associate Credential, or the CDA. It's basically the national gold standard. It shows a huge commitment to the field. And for compliance, look, you gotta know the rules. The Introduction to Childcare Licensing course covers all the expectations for running a professional program. For protection, and listen, this is one of the most important tools in the entire kit, mandated reporter training. This is what teaches you how to spot and report suspected child abuse or neglect. It is a massive responsibility. And finally, for professionalism, you have the Code of Ethics. This is your compass. It's what guides every single decision and every interaction you have. It's the framework that holds all your other skills together. Which brings us to our last and frankly most important part, upholding the trust. This is all about the fundamental responsibility a caregiver has, a trust that's given to them by families and really by the whole community. And that trust, it begins with safety, period. Before any amazing learning or fun can happen, families have to know without any doubt that their children are safe. And that's why this next piece is absolutely non-negotiable. This is a big one. State and federal fingerprint-based background checks, they are mandatory for everyone working with children. There are zero exceptions. This is the baseline for safety. And when we use the word caregiver, let's be really clear on what we mean. This isn't just babysitting. The professional definition is someone who is meeting a child's physical and emotional needs and providing supervision. It's a complex, demanding, and incredibly important role. And this just brings us full circle, right back to that ultimate responsibility. The source material couldn't be more direct about mandated reporter training.
It is mandatory for all who work with children. Protecting kids is the single highest duty there is.
So there you have it, the blueprint for quality care. From the physical space to the professional's toolkit, all of it built on this foundation of trust and safety. The plan is right here, so the real question is, what are you going to build with it?